It has just proven to be, I don't know the word, but just the most awesome thing, I guess, that's ever happened to me, to my career, but also to me personally.
Wanda Jackson stole the spotlight in January of 2009 when she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dubbed the Queen of Rockabilly, Jackson's career has spanned over 4 decades.
I can't think of any other female who's probably had that much success with rock and roll.
You gotta rock your baby all night long. Rock your baby all night long.
Born in Maud, Oklahoma in 1937, Wanda inherited her love of music from her father.
As a young man, he played guitar and fiddle, had a band, and did little dances around Oklahoma. And then after he married, and then I came along, and he had to get a real job. So that was the end of his career. But he got to enjoy and kind of precariously live through me my career, which I thought was really awesome.
Tom Jackson recognized his daughter's passion for music at a young age and taught her to play guitar when she was 7. He encouraged Wanda to pursue her talents and supported her throughout her career.
He never tried to say you should be doing this or prepare for that, and I had to make it in music because I didn't prepare for anything else. I would have had to get an Avon route, you know.
Jackson was a young teen when she first hit the airwaves, hosting her own show on a local radio station, KLPR.
I was on the program as a dare from my friends. I went up and tried out, you know, just me and my guitar, and I'm sure I was pretty bad. But he let me on several times, and then they had a contest later on that I won, and the prize was a 15-minute radio show every day, right after the 5 o'clock news, which was a pretty good spot.
She kept the show by selling and producing her own radio spots.
Yeah, as it turned out, that little program was the catalyst to my whole career.
Her favorite country musician, Hank Thompson, would discover her on the radio.
But he called one day after the show. I nearly fainted. And he said, would you like to come sing with my band Saturday night? We'll be at the Trianon Ballroom. And I said, oh, Mr. Thompson, I'd love to, but I've got to ask my mother. He said, well, how old are you, girl? I said, well, I'm 14. Oh, well, isn't that something, he said.
Jackson performed with Thompson and his band throughout high school and released several albums under Decca Records. One song, You Can't Have My Love, made the country music's top 10.
Well, sir, Joe, I am just going to repeat a name that you have just mentioned, be here long enough to let you know that she's all set with her beautiful, we had color TV tonight, a beautiful red dress, and a beautiful lady to go along with it. Here is Miss Wanda Jackson.
There's the ramble-shackle shack. There's the ramble-shackle shack. Down in North Carolina. Down in North Carolina. He's calling me back. He's calling me back. To that man of mine. To the man of mine. If I had the wings.
After graduating from Capitol Hill High School, the singer hit the road. Her first tour was with Elvis Presley.
Wanda, got to know Elvis being on these shows, and as she tells it, he introduced her to his record collection. And so I think she started singing rock and roll at the time at the urging of Elvis.
She took Elvis's advice and learned several rock songs from movies and albums.
Do that again, that's pretty. Well, a hard-headed woman, a soft-hearted man, been a causing trouble ever since the world began, but don't you? Oh, yeah, ever since the world began. Woo, yeah. Well, a hard-headed woman is a thorn in the side of a man.
You listen to some of her first rock and roll records, one called Rockin' with Wanda, and, mean man, just the way she just growls, and, then you meet her and she's petite and just pleasant, and you can't imagine that this woman could get up there and sing like that.
Her first rock and roll hit was in 1958 in Japan with Fujiyama Mama under Capitol Records. Jackson toured overseas for several months.
Now that was my experience of being like Elvis. I was a superstar over there.
She then hit the top 40 on American billboards in 1960 with Let's Have a Party. The singer went back and forth from country to rock and roll for the next decade. But in 1971, she found another source of inspiration. Jackson and her husband Wendell Goodman found faith.
That was very important to me. It still is. As my way of spreading the gospel would be through music and my testimony when I can give it.
She only recorded one gospel album with Capitol Records. The music company wanted Jackson to stick to her musical roots, but she had a new calling.
I mean, they didn't know what to do with me anyway. They signed me as a country singer, then I went rock and roll, and now I'm wanting to do gospel. What do we do with this girl?
But Wanda was determined to reach a new audience.
And they've never stopped really touring and playing and performing, and I think that that's probably why she still sounds as good as she does today. And a lot of her songs, you know, she still sounds like the record.
Jackson, along with her husband and manager, Wendell, are still on the road, traveling across the U.S. and overseas.
The Europeans have always seen her as a hero of rock and roll, and so her popularity has always been about the same there. But I think there was definitely a time in the United States, probably until this year, that she would have to have been considered an obscure rockabilly name.
Her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has put her back on center stage in America.
To have like a second career at this point in my life, you know, in my 70s, that seems unreal.